we decode the Maha conundrum of Maharashtra. Joining us first on the show is the former Maharashtra Chief Minister Prithviraj Chavan. Vasudha, you want to begin?
Thank you, Mr. Chavan, for speaking to NDTV. Sir, to start with, what are your expectations for the Maha Vikas Aghadi? I know you've clearly said that you don't want to speak on the exit poll numbers, but the Prime Minister has done over 20 events, including roadshows and public rallies in the state. The Modi factor is known to have a lot of resonance amongst the people of Maharashtra. How is your party looking at your own prospects?
Yes, 20 compared to 7 in 2019. So yes, Prime Minister focused on Maharashtra. It is an important state with second largest number of Lok Sabha seats. Well, the atmosphere is all muddied up by the exit poll figures. So let's not discuss what the exit poll numbers are saying. I'll tell you what I feel. I think the Maha Vikas Aghadi fought a very good election. We coordinated very well at the ground level. Leaders also gelled very well. Although there was a little delay in seat finalization, which hurt us a little. But I think on the whole, the Maha Vikas Aghadi will get a majority in Maharashtra. That is more than half the number of seats of the 48.
Mr. Chavan, some pollsters are predicting that Maharashtra could bring some cheer on the faces of opposition parties, including yours, while maintaining that the BJP will retain its performance. How much would you believe that, and what, according to you, are the issues that may have helped this coalition?
Opposition, if it brings smile to the face of opposition, that's exactly what I said will happen. We will get a majority. That means we'll get more than half the seats. It could even go as high as 30 seats from majority would be 24, 25 seats. I think we are going to get more seats at the Mahayuti, that is the BJP-led alliance in Maharashtra. We have fought a very good election. There were many issues like 14% minority Muslims, 2% Christians. Then the entire Dalit population voted to save the constitution. They have voted in the majority, whatever the exit numbers might say. The ground reality is that we are starting out with a very substantial support of the minority community and the Dalit community. And of course, 50% farming community. 50% people earn their livelihood out of farming. They are very, very upset with Mr. Modi personally. And then there is the issue of corruption in Maharashtra. Both political corruption and financial corruption as exposed by the electoral bond matter. Of course, we have not been able to reach the election bond corruption to the people because it happened fairly late. But the five issues, the Berozgari, the unemployment, the inflation, the farmers' issues, the corruption, and the Samvidhan Bachao, the constitution, save the constitution. We only focus on these five local issues, people's issues. While Mr. Modi tries to polarize the atmosphere on religious grounds. So let us see now, Maharashtra is largely a secular state. I don't think his attempt to polarize and get larger share of Hindu vote will succeed. But on the other hand, he has succeeded in pushing the minority vote into the opposition corner.
But sir, despite being a national party, the Congress contested only on 17 seats in the state. We saw your own workers sort of fighting it out, getting miffed in places such as Sangli and also Mumbai. Do you think the party, a national party, could have given yourself a little more space, to your own party instead of giving a lot of seats to the allies?
I think specifically on 3 seats, we had a very strong claim. The seat of Sangli, seat of Mumbai, South Central and Bhiwandi. But in a give and take, we ultimately had to concede all the 3 seats, which we were absolutely sure of winning. But let's not forget, when we sat down to discuss the seat allocation, we had only 1 Lok Sabha seat in 2019, as against 18 that Shiv Sena had. So they started with the position of strength, we started with the position of weakness. I think given the reality of 2019 election, we got 17 seats, we should have got 30, we should have got 20 seats, 3 more seats really. Well, in a very hard bargaining which took place inordinate time, the seat finalization was delayed quite a lot. It shouldn't have been. But ultimately we worked well together. We conceded the 3 seats. to our alliance partners, 2 to Shiv Sena and 1 to NCP. But important thing is, we worked very closely together, both at the ground level where the Karyakartas work very closely, the election, the booth agents and the door-to-door campaigners, and also the leaders who campaigned in each other's constituencies and held joint rallies. Of course, the seat finalization took a little time, and that's why a campaign took off a little late. But I think we gelled well, and I think we'll get benefits of the three-party alliance, which has worked very well. We have worked better than the BJP alliance, the Maha Vikas alliance, which could not even finalize the seat much later than we had all finalized.
So, one of the dominant narrative of this election, particularly in Maharashtra, was the infrastructure push of the BJP, what Mr. Modi had done for the state. Did the Congress find it difficult to counter that narrative? Because people were saying that Prime Minister Modi and his government built the Atal Setu in 7 years, despite the Congress being in power for 70 years. You couldn't do much for the state.
Well, two things. Mr. Modi focused only on physical infrastructure, be it roads, the sea bridge or the railways and all that, airports. But he completely ignored the very important and very crucial infrastructure, which is the soft infrastructure, education, health, research, social security. And I think the country will pay heavily because of neglect of these areas. See, why is there an unemployment problem? Firstly, Mr. Modi has mishandled the economy. But the engineers and MBAs and other professionals that we are churning out are not employable because we are not focusing. There are 41% seats vacant in IITs. For the first time, IIT graduates have not been placed. So we are really diluting the quality of our higher education substantially by ignoring the health and education sector, only focusing on the hard infrastructure. Hard infrastructure has appeal for a certain generation, husband and wife working in IT sector, and they say, look, Modi built Atal Setu, why could Congress do it in 70 years? What Congress did in 70 years, they laid a basic foundation of self-reliance for 250 public sector enterprises, where even a needle was not being made. We started making jet aircraft and all that. That foundation, the research infrastructure, the atomic energy, the space sector, all that infrastructure, the soft infrastructure as I call it, health, education and research, that infrastructure Congress laid. I mean, you don't see physically, it's not a touch and feel infrastructure like a 6-lane highway or a Atal Setu. But I think the country will pay dearly for neglect of these important sectors.
A last question to you, sir. How do you see the political situation in Maharashtra changing post Lok Sabha elections, since assembly polls, also BMC elections are all round the corner? Do you see more defections in the coming days?
I have already said in many times that 6 full-fledged political parties with MPs in Lok Sabha and many legislators in the assembly are not sustainable. So I see at least a reduction of 2 parties which fought the Lok Sabha election, 3 parties each in the 2 alliances. I think some realignment of forces, some parties merging into larger parties, so dissolving into the larger parties. I think we'll go back to 2-party each alliance like we had for the last 10-15 years, to one right-wing alliance of BJP and maybe some Shiv Sena faction, and largely a Congress left or center alliance. That's what I see. Individuals may shift. There'll be a greater pressure on the Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar faction to merge into a larger BJP.
Right.
So that kind of a movement I see, but I don't see anyone from Congress or Sharad Pawar's NCP or Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena breaking away, leaving our MBA alliance and going into it. 1Z, 2Z, yes, we can always expect. Some people are facing some ED and CBI heat. Some people have been lured with Rajya Sabha seats, as in case of Ashok Chavan and Milind Devra. So, isolated case maybe, but mass scale, large scale defection from MBA is ruling.
Right.